Okay, this video should be the final one for the ourBoatMonitor series. So I've got the boat in the water now. It's just late April, so I've got a couple of weeks worth of data from the monitor. The monitor's installed in the boat, so we'll have a quick look at what that looks like. And this should wrap up the ourBoatMonitor series. I'll also have a quick look at the kind of data that you get back from the boat, things like temperature, humidity, depth sensor, the current location of the boat, so we'll have a look at that as well. So here's the completed ourBoatMonitor Angular application. So let's just go through and have a look at what you can do with it. So first let's log in, and I'll go through. It's using firebase authentication, so leveraging my Google logon in this case, and it drops you into my views. So you saw in the earlier videos where you can set up an application and have views associated with it. So that's what this is showing. Is for me, it's going to show all my applications, then for each application the list of views associated with it. And we can see on here the various views that I've made available from the boat monitor running on my boat. Got the special one which shows the latest location for the devices that make up this application, so I can click on that and see where my boat is. The house battery voltage, so that's useful for seeing what the current battery voltage looks like, whether it's getting charged. The temperature at the boat, the humidity at the boat, the current water level sensor reading, the amount of free memory. This is more for maintenance. That I'm running MicroPython on the boat monitor, so it just lets me see that the garbage collection and memory staying freed up on that device. The backup battery voltage, so as well on the boat monitor it has a lithium ion battery, so if the house battery goes down or turned is off or disconnected for some reason, the backup battery backup battery will continue to run the monitor. I think I measured for about 3 days. And then finally there's an air pressure monitor as well, so I can see what the air pressure is looking like. So let's have a look at some of these views. So first the device location. So this shows you the most recent location for my boat in this case, and what time it last saw the boat. So I can zoom in here a bit and do things like look at where my boat's located. So it's pretty close. That's my boat there actually, so a little bit off, but that's just some GPS variance. Pretty close. As well, we've got the house battery trends. So let's have a look over the last, say, 100 readings. So we see this is about 4 days worth, and we can see the effect of the solar panel. So when the sun's up and the solar panel's running, then it's charging up the battery, so it goes from around 13 volts up to about 14 and a quarter volts when it's charging. Then overnight it's just drops down to just using the battery voltage. This is still close to 100% full when the battery's reading around 13 volts, so got plenty of battery and the recharging seems to be doing the job, so that's good. Looking at the temperature at the boat again, let's look at the last 4 days as well. So we can sort of see the temperature. At the moment it's still end of April, has some chilly nights still, so see the temperature ranging from about 40 degrees up to about 65 at the moment during the day. So it tells me whether I want to go up to my boat or not. Let's also have a look at the humidity up there. And again, let's look for the last 200 readings, so more like 8 days. So we see the humidities, earlier it was a lot higher as warmer days, but humidity's dropping to about 50 or 60% at the moment for these cold days at the moment. Water level sensor, at the moment I've got this wired up backwards. It should be measuring 0.874 for when there's no water in the boat, so there's kind of looks like my boat's sinking. So next time I go up to the boat I'll switch over that connector so that it increases when the water levels increase in the boat. Like I said, free memory is just telling me kind of technically that the MicroPython code is running okay on the microprocessor. There's not much variance here, but if the monitor crashes, it'll be interesting to see what was happening with the memory on the processor if that happens. Okay, like I said, the backup battery voltage is the voltage that the lithium-ion battery has. These are all good voltages here. If I look back, say 500. So we see here, before I put it in the boat and I was connecting and disconnecting the lithium-ion battery, you can see here sort of the discharge cycle here when it's just running without getting recharged. But once it got in the boat and connected up to the battery, then it stays at the high value just about all the time. And finally, let's have a look at air pressure. And again, this is useful to see over a range of time. So let's go 200. So this tells me whether the weather's likely to be getting better or worse. So if it's taking a dive for the air pressure, that usually means some bad weather's coming. It's interesting to see what the values are up at the boat as well. As well as those views, if we go into application, we can see where all the views are defined as well. I've got some triggers here. One of them I've got disabled, but will send me an email if the house battery is low, so below 50% level, or if the battery's disconnected, it'll send me an email as well. I've got this one here, battery discharge. At the moment it's disabled, so let me make that enabled, so that one will send me an SMS message if the backup battery gets totally discharged, which shouldn't happen. So that's the look at the whole application definition. This is my list of devices. I've only got one device in the system at the moment, but if there were more boats, I could have multiple boats that are represented by a device and could monitor multiple boats. And I think we've seen these other ones. I won't go into them. Device types, user maintenance. So this is how you can associate a user with what applications they can see. My profile, my views, which we just saw. And that's about it. So let's go up, have a look at the actual hardware setup in the boat as well, what it ended up looking like. This is the ourBoatMonitor head with the actual processor and LTE radio in it. I've put that below the solar charger in the boat, so it fits okay. You can see the aerial there. That's all working at the moment, so it's kind of where I plan to put it anyway. And the bilge monitor is up here in the front, whether you can see it there. There it is up against the face of that fiberglass there. And as those two sensors rise, that's when it'll set up a resistive ladder and send the signal back to the actual bilge monitor. And let's also have a look at ourBoatMonitor running on my iPhone. So this runs as a PWA, works much the same way but has responsive design, so realigns things for the size of the iPhone screen. So you can see I'm logging in the same way. Defaults to showing my views. I can scroll through the views that are available. Again, you see these are vertically aligned instead of being spread across the page for an iPhone. And I can still do things like select the device location. It'll show me the most recent boat location. I can look at trends like the temperature on the boat. And I also still have, because I'm an administrator, have access to all the management screens for managing the sensors and the devices.